Rice is a main food source for nearly half the world's population and has been grown and harvested by hand for thousands of years. But even though small farms still plant, harvest and process rice by hand, most large farms use machines in all aspects of the process in order to feed the world's enormous demand. Rice farming has turned into big business, and large machinery is now used to do the job on a large scale. Unlike most fruit or vegetables, rice requires a lot more special techniques and processing equipment to produce the rice we all know and love, especially when it comes to processing the harvested grain. Here's a general overview of the steps involved with planting, harvesting, and processing of rice. Before planting rice, the land needs to be prepared. This involves plowing, leveling, and smoothing the field to create an ideal environment for rice cultivation, plus making levees on all sides of the rice fields to create a pond-like structure to hold in the water that will flood the fields. There are various ways to sow rice seed or to plant rice plants. Small farms plant by hand one plant at a time. Small to medium farms use small rice planting machines that do about 8 rows at a time. But when it comes to large-scale farms, they use large rice seeding machines or aerial seeding. Rice seeding machines used on large farms are equipped with seed hoppers and are designed to efficiently sow rice seeds across extensive fields and can sow up to 30 rows at a time. But the fastest system for sowing rice seeds on large farms is aerial seeding using an airplane, which is primarily used on very large fields, as it allows for quick and efficient coverage of these expansive areas, reducing the time and labor required compared to ground-based methods. Once the fields are fully prepped and flooded, a crop duster-style plane flies over the flooded fields, using satellite guidance to spread the seeds evenly across the bays. Aerial seeding can provide more uniform seed distribution compared to ground-based methods. Overall, while aerial seeding may not be used universally across all rice farming operations in the United States, it serves as a valuable tool for certain farmers, particularly those dealing with large fields, challenging terrain, or time-sensitive planting requirements. Watering the rice is very important, and rice growers manage their water carefully. Farmers keep water on their crops for all or most of the growing season. The water is used like a blanket to protect the rice crop from variations in temperature. It also helps suppress weed growth. The submerged weeds suffocate due to lack of oxygen, reducing competition for nutrients and resources with the rice plants. Flooding can also disrupt the breeding cycles of certain insects and pathogens that might otherwise harm the rice crop. When it comes to managing weeds and pests, some farms use herbicides and pesticides to control insects and weeds, while other farms use a more natural approach and send ducks out into the rice fields. Ducks are voracious consumers of insects, snails, and other pests that can damage rice crops. By foraging in the fields, ducks help control pest populations naturally, reducing the need for chemical pesticides. Plus, while the ducks are walking around the fields, they are trampling small weeds while aerating the soil and fertilizing it with their manure. As the grains start to mature, the farmers lock up the bays to prevent any more water entering in, and then they let the crop use up the remaining water to finish growing. Stopping the water too early or too late can produce a low-quality yield, so farmers will check the moisture content of the rice with a moisture meter. When the rice contains about 22% moisture, the crop is ready to harvest. When the rice is harvested, the harvester separates the rice from the straw. Once separated, the rice is held in a storage bin on the combine. When the bin is full, it's offloaded to another storage bin being pulled by a tractor. When the storage bin is full, it's then transferred to a truck waiting nearby. When the rice is harvested, it's called paddy. The trucks transport the paddy to storage sheds for drying. The paddy dries in the shed until it contains about 14% moisture. To speed the drying process up, some companies use an aeration system to reduce the moisture content down to 14%. After this process is complete, the rice paddy is transported to a rice mill for processing. When the paddy arrives at the rice mill, it must go through several steps before it is ready for packaging. First, the paddy undergoes an initial cleaning to remove foreign materials such as stones, sticks, and other debris. Next, the rice moves on to the hulling stage where the outer husk layers are removed. After hulling, the rice grains are then milled and polished. All rice grains start the processing journey as brown rice. To get white rice, the grains are polished and the outer brown layer is removed. This step can also help improve the taste and texture of the rice. After polishing, every rice grain is checked at high speed with cameras, then sorted into different grades based on size, shape, color, and quality. This is called grading and sorting. This ensures uniformity and consistency in the final product. Grains that are broken or not up to quality are separated and used in other products such as rice flour and cereal. Once the rice has been milled, graded, and sorted, it is ready for packaging.